Quantum Recharge might take a few games to figure out due to its unusual gameplay mechanic of making circles, and the game's pretty tough, with a wide variety of alien types filling up the arena. This is the latest in the Recharge series of reimaginings of classic Atari games, and while the visuals evoke the arcade original, the gameplay has shifted subtly but significantly. The original Quantum was a 1983 vector graphics classic that featured trackball control where you circle particles to remove them from the open play space where things are zipping around. The arcade game was tough, but once you got the hang of it, Quantum proved to be a really unique and fun experience. The game itself is notable for being among a small list of arcade games of its era developed by women. Betty Ryan created the game loosely on quantum physics for the General Computer Corporation on behalf of Atari. She went on to work on some Atari 2600 arcade ports, including Pole Position. The main gameplay change in Quantum Recharge is you not only are no longer required to encircle enemies, but you in fact are probably making a mistake by trying it. Instead, Quantum Recharge is all about laying down circular fields that enemies run into. It's a small change but has big implications in the way the game is played. Creating walls becomes a tactic, luring in approaching enemies is key, and creating room to escape is critical. There's also a thrust mechanic to zip you along and a button that moves you at a higher speed in exchange for some maneuverability. The overall shift from trackball to controller works quite well and was clearly a priority during development. There are power-ups here, most importantly the extra lives. Shock freezes things for a bit, Overcharge gives you more thrust ability, Slower makes things slower, and Shield not only protects you but lets you ram into things for a short period. There are mouse control options as well. Unfortunately, the accessibility style controls have issues due to the wider mouse control bug in Atari OS, which causes a button press or movement to the edge of the screen to hang the game. Direct mouse control works and quite well, and it offers a control experience similar to the original trackball control of the arcade. You'll need a keyboard to control thrust and speed. The classic joystick also works generally well, although the frequent need to move seems like it would put a real strain on your classic's durability. Twist is not supported. The arcade mode is similar to others in the Recharge series with one possible flaw, and this issue impacts the viability of the leaderboards. Like other Recharge games, you can get a points bonus for opting into tougher options. Here it is starting with 1 life and having more enemies spawn. However, you get a 100% bonus to your score for each of them, so a 40,000 point game becomes a 120,000 point game. You can see the impact of this on the leaderboards, and playing until you get a second life from a power-up opens up a chance for a huge score. Not offering extra life power-ups might fix the issue. There are also dozens of missions, which are single challenge levels generally asking you to destroy all of the enemies on screen. Some of the toughest challenges give you a time limit. The leaderboards here are cumulative based on how many missions you've completed, similar to other Recharge games. I found the missions to be a good way to learn how to beat enemies and play the game, but I have yet to complete a timed mission. In some ways we've seen enough Recharge games that Quantum's updated graphics and sound feel familiar rather than fresh, but they're also looking just as great as ever as a series. I've noticed that the audio can be cacophonous and dissonant due to the way it comes and goes as you take a hit, get better multipliers, and progress. It feels like some of the elements are competing with each other, and the stopping and starting can sound a bit odd. However, when I was doing well I didn't notice the issue, and you can adjust the music and sound mix in the settings. Multiplayer is also supported both in arcade and missions modes. In this mode, the arena is slightly more zoomed out, and both players play in the same space, making their own circles on the field. You can bring a dead player back with a power-up that spawns. I didn't spend a lot of time in co-op, but it seemed fun. Quantum Recharge delivers everything you've come to expect from a Recharge game, including its $10 price tag. The game itself remains just as unusual and fresh today as it did in 1982. Even in an age of phone games and swiping, there aren't a ton of circle your enemies style games. Thanks for watching. I'll have more game videos in the coming weeks, so like and subscribe to get everything your way. Have fun!